Hello everyone, my name is Siddiq Harunani, the CEO of Genius Business Systems. Today I'm going to talk to you about workshop systems. But before I take you to the workshop systems, let me explain to you what automation is all about as far as the workshop industry is concerned. We have a number of cars on the Kenyan highway. Toyota is one of the biggest dealers, as we all know. Now, the most important thing is how well are they managed? How well are they serviced? What spare parts were issued to these particular cars? Now, the important part is to which garage is it taken? The quality of the garage, the quality of the mechanics, the quality of the management of these garages. So, how is it related to our industry? How is it related to software? I'll explain to you. First and foremost, what is the management approach for these garages? When a vehicle comes to the workshop, is a job card going to be open for that, or is it just going to be attended through a cash system where the customer just comes to the counter, he pays some money and he is served? No, that's not the approach. The first thing is to do a diagnosis. Diagnostic is a process whereby the problems are collected from the customer and it is supposed to be captured in an electronic system.
So if you're raising the job card, the customer will come in. We're able to use the mouse track to open the contacts of the customer, get the details, especially the number plate and the cell phone number. So through this portfolio, we are able to capture whatever is being required for the technician to be able to assist them when they're working on their car. We'll take the name, number plate, cell phone number, then we open the job card. So the job card is a guideline where the customer is able to tell us the issues that he's having with his car. So for instance, we can say he wants wheel balancing, alignment. So we're able to raise it. Then the job card is printed on the computer, and then we give it to the technician to be able to commence the work.
It is very important that both the customer and the supplier are treated fairly. For example, if a customer comes to a garage or comes to a workshop, the first information that is supposed to supply to the workshop or the garage is the problems that is existing in his vehicle. Why? So that we may have relevant information and perfect information so that we can know the historical background of that particular vehicle. So we have a pre-inspection check procedure in the system. Workshops should be well managed in order to keep track of the customer complaints. There could be so many types of complaints the customer has come up with. He could have a problem in the tires. He could have some noise coming out from somewhere in the car. He might already know that a particular spare part is supposed to be replaced. However, the customer complaints are supposed to be collected by the workshop manager or by the workshop department. Spare parts is a very important component. Spare parts might need some replacement. So what spare part is having a problem? Do we have the availability of those spares in the stores? We might also require some labor component, for example, fitment of tires, fitment of a particular spare part, and labor is an important component. Which mechanics are available? Do you have those resources available to do the fitment? Task allocation, duty escalation to the mechanics is also very important.
You can actually check the output of the technician. So the number of vehicles raised and the number of performance done by the technician. So you can identify if maybe one is doing more than the other.
Labor is an important component in the workshop department because you cannot just cost your spares. You have labor component whereby you are allocating mechanics to do those tasks. So labor can be broken down into just like inventory items. For example, fitment of tires, change of a gearbox, all these can be labor component. They can be put under the labor component. And every task in the labor component should be time bound and they should be cost element. For example, what is your hourly rate on fitting a tire? What is your hourly rate on doing an engine overhaul? All these are workshop components but labor related. Now, when you have a particular task to be done, those tasks must be escalated to a particular mechanic. It could be a senior mechanic, it could be a junior mechanic, it could be a foreman, whosoever might be allocated. But you need to have the hours allocated to those mechanics in the system. So at the end of the day, you are supposed to give a proposal, or I would say a quotation to a customer. So that will be your job estimation. And if you are going to mess up with your job estimates, you will end up billing the customer what you should not have billed, or you can even overbill the customer, not the right practice. So in order for you to get the correct estimates, the correct project costing, you need to cost your items properly. So whenever you're preparing a proposal or a quotation to a customer in the workshop, you need to make sure that your labor cost is properly indicated, your inventory or the spare parts that are going to be fitted on the vehicle are properly specified, the quantity, the rate, the total amount. And then there's another component in the workshop, what we call the subcontracting component. Sometimes you have a workshop which is, fully equipped, but some of the things need to be outsourced. For example, you need to buy spare parts, or you say that I will do some part of the job in the workshop, but some of it I'll send it to my neighbor who is specialized in, for example, nozzle or injector pump servicing. Now, how does that handle? How do you give a costing to the customer? You need to know what component of the workshop job is given to your neighbor or to the other workshop, so that you may cost it properly. Mars Autosuite solution is a fantastic solution which will handle your job estimations very well. Sometimes in the workshops, you might have challenges on your employees. For example, you have given tasks to certain employees, you have allocated them duties that you are supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that, and you're not able to track how long did it actually take the mechanic or the workshop manager to complete the job or to complete the task. So what reports are you supposed to send to the customer? What reports are you supposed to have on your table to ensure that certain tasks that were allocated to certain mechanics have been completed in due time? Because in your estimate, remember, in your estimate, you have costed that job to be completed in 2 hours or in 1 hour. And if it takes the mechanic to complete the job in 3 hours, there you have already undergone a loss. You cannot tell the customer, because it took me more time to finish, I should charge you more. That's not acceptable to the customer. So how do you keep track of all your tasks, all your jobs, who is lagging on the job? Because the biggest challenge people are facing today in the workshop environment is labor, is the cost of labor. You need to make sure that you rotate. You have a lot of rotation. What do I mean by rotation? Is that you have customers coming in, the job should be completed, and off the customer goes. You have another customer coming in, and off he goes. If the capacity of your workshop is to serve 20 cars in a day or 20 vehicles in a day, and if you're doing only 5 vehicles, then that's a big problem. Or if you're doing even 15 vehicles, it's a big problem. And this is the biggest problem people are having, because one mechanic, his capacity is to give you maybe 8 hours in a day, yeah, and he ends up giving you only 2 hours in a day. So there's a problem somewhere. So human resource duty escalation is a very important aspect in workshop environment, and workshop managers need to ponder over that. How do you basically keep track of who did what? You might ask, then what kind of system do you have which allows you to know who did what? Well, we have simple solution, yet very powerful, what we call the clock-in clock-out system. It runs on a touchscreen panel which allows employees in the workshop environment to select the vehicle and then to just click a button and say clock in, put their hands on the hand punch device, and that keeps track. That basically authenticates that man or that person in the workshop has accepted to start the job. So the timer starts. The clock starts, ticking. The moment he has finished the task, he just has to go and clock out of the task. If he is going out for a break, he can clock out for a break using the same interface or the same platform. So this will basically give you the idle time. It is going to tell you how many hours was he on a particular task, how many hours was he out for break, what time did he clock out, what time did he complete. And upon completion of the task, what happens? When he says that he has completed the task, it immediately triggers an alarm or an alert to the quality check manager. As we all know, that quality check is important in a production environment, in a workshop environment. The mechanic can say that I finished the job, but there could be something that he has not done properly, something that he has not done well. Hence, quality check is the final stage in any workshop environment. The quality check manager, or I call the QC manager, has a tablet PC or a touchscreen panel where he can go and just quality check the tasks that have been done by the mechanics. If he rejects the task, the workshop guys or the mechanic who has worked on that particular job has to redo the job. So the entire life cycle of the job revolves around the clocking in of the task, the clock out of the task, the quality check, and then finally the job card closure. Now these are the areas which I've just mentioned to you are the biggest challenges in a workshop environment. Mars Autosuite solution takes care of the labor force as far as the clock-in clock-out system is concerned. It takes care of inventory management, what spare part is being issued to that particular job card. It also takes care of the job estimation.
For instance, if you've done a car for 10,000 kilometers, the duration it might take is probably 4 to 5 months. So there's a reminder. You're able to call the customer within the 4th or the 5th month to ask them to come back. And you're also able to find out how the service was done, if there are any feedback, any challenges that we guys need to improve. We get customer feedback and they really appreciate the work that we are doing.
So what's so different with the Mars Autosuite billing system? Mars Autosuite billing system is fully integrated with the job card system. Fully integrated, seamless integration. What do you mean by that? When you gave the quotation to the customer, when you prepared a job estimate, you had 3 or 4 components. One was a spare part component, one was a labor component, one was an outsourcing component. So when you raise an invoice to the customer, it's not just one amount of final invoice, no. It's a breakdown that what was your revenue as far as spare part issuance was concerned. What was your revenue as far as labor component was concerned. What was your revenue as far as subcontracting component was concerned. So yes, finally, when you print your invoice or you process your invoice, you are able to get the full amount of the invoice, you're able to get the VAT component, you're able to get total amount, the amount exclusive VAT. But the result of that amount is nothing but the breakdown. How did you arrive at the final amount? So what are the advantages of having such a system is that tomorrow, if you want to extract what is my revenue by a particular spare part, how much money am I making on that spare part? Although it's a workshop, but that spare part was issued, it has a cost, it was issued. So you need to know what was your profit on that particular spare part. So Mars Autosuite is able to give you that. You have also spent on human resource, you have spent on labor, you have spent on people. So you have a cost per hour on the labor cost for that particular task that you did. You also have a revenue for that particular task you did. So the system is able to tell you how much revenue you made on that labor element that was indicated in the job estimation. So the invoicing system is so robust that it allows you to process invoice to cash customers, it allows you to process invoice to credit customers. It is fully integrated with the Mars Track financial software. So for example, if you raise an invoice, it has a financial impact in your customer statement. What I mean by financial impact, there's a double entry system. Credit your sales account, debit your customer account, yeah, and credit your VAT control account. All those financial entries that go into any accounting system is taken care by the Mars Track financial system. Although I'm talking about the workshop software, but here I take the opportunity to even explain to you that the billing system is also integrated with the financial system if the customer acquires our financial module. Mars Autosuite workshop solution. The word Autosuite, I've explained to you about workshops, garages, but let me just make it very clear to you that this solution is not only fitted or is not only fit for Autosuite. It also works for any environment where there is a workshop, be it workshops which are servicing generators or workshops which are servicing their own internal vehicles, or it could be anything to do with workshops, anything that requires a job card opening, anything that requires to prepare an estimate, any business that requires where you are doing servicing, preventive maintenance. It could be any vertical, it could be transport industry, manufacturing industry, even retail industry. For example, retailers, there's so many retailers in the market, they sell heavy equipment and then they say that they're giving warranty. So for example, Digital City is one of our clients. Yeah. So what do? They sell items, they sell farm equipment and all that, and they give warranty for that, those heavy machines that they sell. When they give warranty, what happens? They have a workshop department within the company, and that workshop department does the servicing. So they do diagnosis, they give estimations, they also have small micro spare parts that they issue to that heavy commodity that has been brought in by the customer. So they still use our workshop system, which is tailored to the requirement. All right, we have even the transport vertical, we have the manufacturing vertical. So Mars Autosuite system serves very well for any environment where there is workshop. So the workshop software is in use by quite a number of clients, like we have Digital City Limited, We have Transpairs, who is in the transport sector. We have RK Sangani, KB Sangani. They are also in the transport industry. We have Specialized Fiberglass in the manufacturing. They have a workshop component. We have Rob's Magic. We have Automatrix. Yeah, we have Phil and Industrial Technical Services, and there's quite a number of other customers in the nation who are using the workshop solution. To know more about our services, to know more about our products, please log on to www.gbsafrica.net. Thank you.